Y'all ready? Get a count in. What up, y'all? Hi. Aloha. Welcome to the inaugural episode of The Bake. My name is Kareem Youngblood, but you all know that already. Thank you for supporting. Thanks for all the love throughout the years. The Bake is a live demo, tasting, and podcast event. It came to me, chilling at the table with my bestie. I have a couple of besties here, Felicia and Manny, chilling with Manny at the table. And I'm like, you know what? I want to do a podcast where I actually make some of the things that I like to make. What we are making today is a blue ombre color-changing cheesecake that I made on Spring Baking Championship.
Exceptional desserts. All right, so Kareem, what do we got going on over here?
Hello, Jesse.
Looking great. I shrunk.
You did.
Dude,
Yes.
A+ last week.
Hey.
A+, man. I was so proud of you.
I appreciate it, dog.
So you can think of The Bake as like your favorite cooking show mixed with a tech talk mixed with a whole bunch of foolery. All right, so let's get started. We're gonna make some color-changing coconut, right? Have you all ever heard of blue butterfly PT? No. So blue butterfly PT is a tea. Oh wait, I forgot to say something, but I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna say this. Free that girl, Wendy Williams. Hey, it's the acoustics. Blue Butterfly PT is a natural tea. I think it's caffeine free. Yes, it's caffeine free. And it steeps as blue, but when you add citrus like lemon to it, it turns to purple and magenta. Wow. You all probably seen it on TikTok before in like lemonades and stuff. So we are at New York Cake. New York Cake is a very, very special place to me. 11 years ago, I walked into a place called New York Cake that was not this location. It was actually across the street, across 6th Avenue, and it looked like some little Harry Potter, like next world baking place. It had like big wooden arch doors. And I was just over here because Michael's had opened up. And people say that big business kind of hurts small business, and they do. But this smaller size business compared to Michael's is where my dream started. I walked into New York Cake and I spent all of my paycheck, and it was just for a hobby then. And I came back every time I got paid. Lisa, Jenny, their mom, 11 years with them, and their dream inspired my dream, and I hope that my dream inspires others to keep dreaming. And I dreamed of standing back here the first time that I walked in the door. So to New York Cake, to Jenny, to Lisa, to her mom, thank you for the years of support and dreams. Welcome to New York Cake, and welcome to The Bake. So being a boy from the hood, I'm like, I don't really want a Michelin star, but I gotta get a Michelin star because I'm from the hood, right? And to get that, I'm like, I'm just gonna incorporate stuff that I know from the hood, right? So in some of the desserts that you guys taste out there, I use some, that's mad fancy, right? So we're just gonna let this steep. I'm gonna put a little more in it. But I use candy, right? So I mix down like Swedish fish and stuff, and I put it into Japanese strawberries. Why? Because it's fancy, it's expensive, and I guess that's what Michelin star is. It's nothing but presentation. The food that we eat in fancy restaurants was started by our ancestors. It was started by people who don't get credit for any of it. Like, they gave fancy names to these things and they gave prestige to them, but they didn't give recognition to the people who created them, and it's all people. Can you please pass me a bowl, one of the medium-sized ones? The next one, yeah. Thank you. So I'm gonna start with the crust. For the crust, we have a half a cup of pretzels and 1 3/4 cups of ginger snaps, cookies. It's grinded in a blender. And then we have a half a stick of butter, blue spirulina. Blue spirulina is a natural food coloring. It also is a superfood.
Really good stuff.
I'm just gonna sprinkle about a teaspoon. How they be like about a teaspoon and they just be sprinkling, right? About a teaspoon. We will mix this together until it comes nice and firmish. And then it would be pressed into a spring-form pan and then baked in the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes, right? So on Spring Baking Championship, I made this cheesecake, and then we would go to the garden, right? The garden is not a garden. The garden is a bench in a parking lot. But we brought the garden with us. Y'all know the garden, right? It's green, it grows, it smokes. So we called it the garden. And after set, we would go to the garden, and we had these cheesecakes, right? And it's me and Julian. If y'all watch the show, y'all know Julian. Julian is my road dog. And we're talking about these cheesecakes. Mad nervous, because you're always nervous as hell, right? So I know that I got blue blueberry, right? Blue blueberry. And I don't remember what Julian had. Like, Julian is a trained pastry chef. This guy has 2 locations. He's killing it in the game. So I wasn't really too worried about what the hell Julian was making, because Julian already know how to make whatever the hell Julian was gonna make. I was worried about myself, and I was trying to get as much tips I could. And I'm like, you know what? I'm about to go in on this cheesecake. And honestly, I did go in, but they, you know, TV is TV. But my cheesecake was delicious, okay? Cartier was like, it's tart, it's tart, it's tart. But it was tart because I had them sprinkle like a lemon wedge on it, right? I didn't get all fancy, and sometimes you gotta lose to win again. Because I'm like, no more tart, tart, tart. What the hell I'm gonna do is make a lemonade reduction with golden kiwi syrup, right?
What?
Here we go, Cartier. But I love Cartier. I'm actually going to her restaurant grand opening in a couple of days, which is gonna be cool. So I'm doing like a half a recipe. The full recipe calls for 4 blocks. I'm not even doing half, I'm doing a fourth. So I'm mixing in 1/4, 1 block of cream cheese. I'm gonna get about 1/3 a cup of, what's that called? Sour cream. Thank you. 1/3 a cup of sour cream. The full recipe will be 4 blocks of cream cheese, 1/3 cup of sour cream, and then we're gonna make a mascarpone whipped cream, and we're gonna fold it in there. Hey, thank you, Black Vienna. So you wanna let this steep for about 5 minutes. I don't know how long that's been, but we've been doing some things. The longer, the better. It's very blue. Y'all like my towels? I made them.
Really?
So we got YouTube University 1985, and we have milk spelled backwards, and it's Refrigerate After Opening, which is another podcast that I would like to create. It will be a weekend extravaganza with 2 to 3 people. We'll get together, we'll talk, we'll bake, we'll make a brunch on Sunday, and then we'll invite people over to enjoy the brunch and pop the shiznits. It's very blue. This is probably like super concentrated. You probably definitely do not want to like have a cup of tea that blue, but it is really delicious. It smells really earthy. Can y'all smell it? Yeah. And I hope that it doesn't stain my clothes. Y'all like my outfit? Yeah. So let me tell you about my outfit. My outfit is from Pangaea. Pangaea is a clothing company that also pairs with engineers and scientists. They make fabric out of bamboo. They make down for coats out of flowers. They save the bees. They save the coral reefs. So you know when you go scuba diving and snorkeling and stuff, you're not supposed to have like regular, what they call it, sunscreen. You gotta use like the Hawaiian stuff because you'll kill the coral reef.
Yep.
And this company don't want you to kill the coral reefs, and neither do I. So, I get stuff for free from them. One day, I'm sitting in my bed, right? And you wonder, hi, Nicole, thanks for being on time. So I'm sitting in bed, I'm gonna turn this off. I'm sitting in bed at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Spring Baking Championship is on air. And I am like, I did a digital marketing program at University of Columbia. University of Columbia. I did a digital marketing program, right? And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at my numbers. I see that I am a breakout on Google. That means people are like searching you, right? And then I become trending, right? And then there was times where my highs was Beyonce lows. Like Beyonce lows. Like the lowest level of searches Beyonce was getting was the highest level of searches I was getting. Beyonce is always searched. There was one time I was higher than Kim Kardashian for about 2 seconds. You know, I was doing it. But I like to call myself the understudy of the internet. You know, if Beyonce gets like a urination break or something, I can hold down the internet for 5 seconds. I got you. You better hurry up, B, because I don't know how long I could do this. But yeah, so I am like going through this and I'm looking at myself and I'm looking at the numbers and I'm seeing the science and the magic behind like who I am and what I am and the draw that I bring to this show. And without that program, I wouldn't have known any of this. I would have just been like, la la la, I'm on the show. And that's why they say knowledge is power, but if you imply it, whatever, if you use the shit, it works really well, right? So I'm looking and I'm like, I really wonder if I'm good enough. This is what's in my head, like real words. If I'm good enough or enough numbers or enough, whatever the hell you gotta have to like have sponsorships and to be not an influencer, but to get free shit and take pictures in it. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, that conversation was answered because I'm in my bed and Panjaya sent me a DM because of the launch party for the show. The pictures that Rodney took and the pink Panjaya suit. So I bought one. It's not the cheapest, it's not the expensive, but they hit me up and they were like, hey, you look really good in this. Do you want to get some free shit so that you can, and like give us some reels and stuff? So I'm like, yeah, heck yes. Immediately, heck yes. But the answers to the questions that you have is right there. Like we question ourselves so much. I am very honored to be like looking out and seeing so many faces from so many like different parts of my life and my existence. And I think that we dream of the day that it can all merge and come together. And I absolutely love everyone that's in this place. I have my niece Zon. Hi, Zon. So I wanted Zon to be here today because I wanted her to see the magic that the people that are in her lives and that are raising her are all about. I work very hard, even though this doesn't like, you don't know what hard work is. You're not gonna be like, oh wow, that took a lot of energy. Like Uncle Reem didn't sleep, like what the hell? But I hope, Zon, that you see the magic in everything and the people that's around you. And you dream, and you dream big, and you don't let anyone stop you. I love you, your mom love you, and everyone else here loves you, okay? And my butt still hurts from the jump that I did at Disney. So we went to Disney, me, Zon, and Jessica for our birthdays. Zon was 7, you was turning 7, and I was turning 40. So we went to Disney.
Spoonbill.
A spoonbill. Wow, Zon, you're so smart. Hi, birds of a feather that flock together.
You just say flock together?
Mm-hmm.
They don't flock, do they?
A flock means they just like fly and chill out together.
Ah, no!
What? I did a jump, right? Like a high jump. First time perfect. Second time I want to kick my leg out. Hi, Shay. I want to kick my leg out, and I pulled the muscle like from my buttocks to the back of my knee. The 40s are kicking in. Let's dye some coconut. Can I also get a time check? What time is it? 7:22. We're doing good. So the cool thing about this is when you don't use cheap stuff, you get good stuff. They don't sponsor me or nothing, but I noticed that I made this before with like a cheaper brand of coconut flakes, and it was good. It was perfectly fine. But with this one, you know, like the coconut fat that like when it gets cold, like this, the fat comes off of this, and the fat is where the flavor is. Where there is fat, there is flavor, right? So the first time with that little mad flavor, but this also flavored the tea, right? Y'all want to see some color changing? I have the coconut already dry. Yeah, thank you. So after I steep it, I would toast it. You could put it in the oven, or you can put it in like a skillet. I did this one in a skillet with a tablespoon of butter, and a couple of tablespoons of sugar. You don't have to add the sugar. I added the sugar because I learned from my mistakes, and remember Cartier was like, it's tart. So I'm like, I'm just gonna put a little bit of sugar in everything to cut the tartness. I'm gonna put some in here and then I'm gonna pass it around. It kind of tastes like bougie cornflakes. Like it?
The flavor.
Yeah. I need a knife. Should I be a... All right, I'm gonna mix this. Do we wanna, let me get some meta view.
Oh, yeah, no.
If I move it, oh, I'm gonna come to y'all. All right.
This is just the coconut.
So I put the lemon in the middle, right? You see the purple changing? And then I'm gonna give it a stir.
Give me another one.
It changed color, all right, y'all? I promise you.
Model that skillet.
Now I'm going to get a cheesecake that's made. So much work. And what's her name? Stacy, on the show when we was making our cheesecakes, she was like, she a pro too. So apparently you just get a torch. And you just heat up these sides. And it should unset. The torches on TV was not like this. This is my cheap torch. The other torch was like,
Yeah, like a flamethrower.
all right, blueberry gelée on top.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to like press the edges down a little bit so that it can separate.
So that fry just burnt, made it loosen up, that's happening?
Oh my god, so it's
Yeah.
like crunchy on the top a little bit?
It's soft. It's like gelée is what they call jelly, but you fancy. All right, you don't use a J, use a G. It's gelée. Okay, we had some separation of church and state. What you gotta say now, Cartier? I love doing. All right, so where's my coconut again? Right here. So I will just take some coconut. Since y'all liked it, I could be a little liberal, right?
Wow.
So let me tell you about this cheesecake a little more, right? I knew that I wasn't going home on this cheesecake because I knew I came to do what I came to do. And like I just knew, I don't know, I just knew. And so I made the cheesecake, and edits are one thing. What happens in real life is a totally different thing. And I learned to even appreciate the parts of the edits that I don't like because they told a story for me. And even though like I didn't win no challenges on this show, I was the heart of the show, and they knew exactly they knew exactly what they were doing. So there were times like with the cheesecake, right? I made the cheesecake. Everyone goes crazy for my cheesecake, right? But because Kareem can't be this person in the show right now, they're gonna downplay it, right? So when I give my cheesecake, Nancy has a famous saying, and she says, "Now that spring bacon championship worthy." My cheesecake got a that spring bacon championship worthy, and they did not show it, but I'm okay. I was okay with that, right? So the next week, because I'm like, even editing loves me, right? Like the whole process loves me. The next week, the show comes on, and they had a flashback to Nancy talking about my crust and the cheesecake, right?
My favorite part of this dessert are these pretzels and ginger snaps.
But I watch all of these shows, like studying, so like I took notes and shit. There was never one time where they had a flashback to talk about something someone made last week. Spring Bacon Championship was kind of like the reset of my life. Well, one of many. When my grandfather died 3 years ago, on the 22nd, it would be 3 years. I started to be free and to live again, because like when you're taking care of somebody, you don't know how much time and energy goes into that. My grandpa was in a hospital bed in my living room. I knew that I had to do a lot of work to get to where I am today, where I wanted to be. I didn't know exactly how, but Grandpa died and he had a little life insurance, right? Not much money, like $15,000. A funeral was like $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. So me and my brother, we got the rest. It probably was like $3,472.15. It was the biggest check I ever got, and it was also the saddest check I ever got. But no, so all that. What was that? What I say? All right, so yes, I got the money, and I took a vacation. Right, I went to Big Bend in Texas. There was a cave. The cave was like $1,700 for 2 days. On the show, I'm mad they didn't put it. I tell this whole story, and I'm like, yes, my grandfather did not die for me to pay rent. I don't care what nobody said. My grandfather didn't die for car medicine. The money that is from this life insurance is only about 4 G's. It's getting wasted. And it's not getting wasted on frivolousness. It's getting wasted on memory, on something so, it had to be, my grandfather dying was big. So this had to be big enough to compete with my grandfather dying, right? So I see this cave, it has stars. And like, I just want to be quiet for a little bit. And like, y'all can have 2 G's, whatever. But then Mexico is right up the street, and that's only $700 for a week. So, you know what? I still got money left, biatch. I'm going from Texas to Mexico, and I'm coming back with no money.
You didn't go to Juarez, did you?
In Mexico?
Yeah.
No, I went to Cancun.
Oh, okay.
Cancun is where you could get $700. So I did the trip. The cave, there was eagles flying, and like they just open their wings, and it's so quiet that you hear as they walk, like going by. There was beetles and tarantulas, very scared, but still. There was like the stars was so bright, it looked like someone like punched a hole in like a dark ceiling and just put a light behind it. And I didn't know that shooting stars was so regular. Like when you see stars, they shoot. It's not like wow, like they. So I found like in a year after taking that trip, when I got really sad, when I got really depressed, I would remember the stars. When I looked up in the sky walking to diaspora or walking from like wherever the hell I was, like I felt like I brought a star back with me. Like this is my grandfather. I think a few weeks ago, I woke up. I woke up and I realized that it's going to be 3 years that my grandpa is wherever he is on the other side, and that I'm a bad bitch. I am proud of myself. I am proud of my friends, of my family. Hi, Anaya. Hi, Boo. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you all. What time is it? 7:50. Let's cut some cheesecake and let's eat. I have individuals here. Thank you. Do you want some lemon sauce? Yeah, that's to make it change the color. Change the color.
Ready, go. Wow.
Some? I'll give you a slice.